Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to see you over here. You and I were police officers right around the same time on the same job, and although in different neighborhoods, I think we see a lot of the same things. So, building on Assemblyman Chang's question, do you have an idea of what it costs to, let's say, service a homeless shelter per man per day on the average?
You got that number, John?
I believe I did some.
It's a lot.
Yes, it's about $750 according to some of my own research in various databases. $750 per day per man. That's $22,000 a month per person.
Very told full.
So what if we give them $200 a day a month for a month? That comes out to about $6,000. I think that would solve their homeless issue, now wouldn't it? So now, going back to the jails and the homeless and the migrants, right? I understand that nobody wants a shelter in their district, right? Now, I'm not talking about the district. Do you think, because every day we see news stories about violent crimes in the subways, usually, a lot of times perpetrated by homeless men. The female that was burned alive in the subway happened just a few blocks out of my district in Coney Island. So what's the sense of reasoning in insisting on putting a homeless shelter within feet of a subway station? I'm talking about 20 feet. When I say feet, I mean 20 feet. I mean, that's like putting a liquor store next to a gun store next to a school. What's the sense of reasoning behind that? I'm not talking about district. I'm talking about one particular location.
Mm-hmm. So let's look at that for a moment, because you made two important points. You were talking about the cost of housing someone, and that cost can actually put people into homes. That's why we passed the City of Yes. Because every time you look to build affordable housing, the amount of pushback we get, everybody say housing is a right, but once you want to put it in the communities, not on my block. And so when we pass City of Yes, it's building a little more housing in every neighborhood in the city, the most comprehensive housing plan in the history of the city. And so, yes, we want to transition people out of homeless shelter into permanent housing. We've done that. We moved people off our subway system, as you indicated, into permanent housing. We've built more permanent housing, affordable permanent housing, in year 1 and 2 in single years in the history of this administration, in the history of the city. Moved more people out of homeless shelters into permanent housing in year 1 and year 2 in the history of the city. More people participating in VEPS vouchers, in the VEPS vouchers program. And so when you say, why would you build it near a transportation? That's one of the ideal places to build it. Because many people who are in homeless shelters or many people who need housing don't need to have access to good quality transportation. That's why you want to pick an identification like that. And let me finally say this. I'm hearing all this about how dangerous our subway system is. That's not the reality. We have 4.6 million daily riders, an average of 6 felonies a day. 6 felonies a day out of 4.6 million riders. And so, no, we don't want to see someone burned to death. No, we want to get rid of those 6 felonies. We don't want the robbery on our system. We got that. But we have failed in the perception issue. We have not failed in the criminal justice issue. These cops are working.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Right?
I understand that right now you're converting a storage unit in the Bronx into a 2,200-bed migrant shelter as you shut down other migrant shelters. Why wouldn't you convert that storage unit for a shelter for our own people?
Well, we are, first of all, everyone in New York has a right to shelter. So it's not as though we are turning away longtime New Yorkers. We also have a shelter population of longtime New Yorkers. Everyone that requires shelter, skin shelter. So what we have successfully done, we have successfully navigated 179,000 people on the migrant and asylum issue out of the system. We've closed down Ebbsfield. We closed down Floyd Bennett Fields. We closed down the Randall's Island to turn the park back over to the people. We're getting ready to close down more. We've closed down over 40-something shelters to address the community's concerns and need. Senator,
so why are you trying to build a shelter 20 feet from a subway station where kids and women and our families and elderly have to travel to and from every day and jeopardizing the innocent victims of a lot of times the mentally ill, let's say. I'm not saying that we shouldn't help them, but
thank you, Senator. Assemblyman